It's major week. The 107th PGA Championship at Quail Hollow Country Club is here. Big drive energy with you all on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Previewing the entire PGA Championship coming up for you. We're going to have our favorite pairings. We're going to have the weather report. We're going to have who we think is going to win, big bet energy. It's always more fun when a major is here because of the live players and just the uncertainty of the entire field. Some great pairings out there, some great weather to talk about, some other great storylines. And is Quail Hollow the right place to host a major? We'll get into all of that on Big Drive Energy, part of the Golfer Gang Network, coming up next. Big Drive Energy major weekend. What's up, brother? How you doing? You excited for this 107th PGA Championship? The strongest championship field of any major, according to those who know more than we do, apparently.
According to Eric Van Rooyen, I can't disagree with him. He is indeed the one participating. We just talked yesterday, but I feel much worse than I did yesterday. I had a few cocktails while watching the Nuggets game last night and then got very angry and couldn't really fall asleep because my heart just races the entire time the Nuggets are playing. And here we are. And it's super rainy out here today. It's been rainy these last few days. And rain obviously is, I do enjoy rain, but it kind of sucks because it's the weather is very it's golf weather, relatively speaking, but then you throw the wetness in there and you just flat out do not want to go outside and play golf. So that is kind of I don't feel trapped inside, but I just kind of want to feel like I'm doing nothing. I think Spencer's Wi-Fi went out again. I don't know. Oh, and he's back. But yeah, I have no motivation today. I'm getting a haircut later, hopefully going to the gym and then giving one lesson to a buddy. So that shouldn't be too bad, but I am just lacking all motivation. I just want to nap. Like I slept probably 5.5, 6 hours last night, and that's just not enough for this sleepy bear.
This big old sleepy bear needs his hibernation. Well, yeah, we were watching it on the couch, and I get mad during games, stone cold sober for the record. I get mad during games, and I was incensed last night. I don't know what the issue was. I was every turnover. I was like I punched my couch probably 150 times. Every turnover, every missed shot, I was up and down. I was like, we'd hit a shot and I'd be up, standing up, clapping. They'd hit 1-3 to cut it to like 10, and I'd be like, it's over. They're gonna win. They're gonna come back. Like the roller coaster of emotions that I was on was take the mind eraser at Elitch's times a million. And I was so mad that my wife went to bed. She was like, I can't be around you. And
that is exactly what Missy said to me. Like 10 minutes into the game, she goes, I think I'm gonna have to go in the other room.
Yeah.
And it was legitimately like 12-2 at that point. And I was just fucking flop this, every call that. And then once again, fourth quarter, they have a big lead and they just cannot fucking put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah, I think it hurts me more when they have these games where you think they're going to win and then they just choke it down at the end, getting tired, nobody making shots, whatever it ends up being. But like game 2, when they lost by 50, it was kind of like, reset, flush, go to the next one. Now it's like they could have won the last 2 games pretty solidly if they would have just closed it down in the fourth quarter. But yeah, my wife actually, it was funny because I was then mad. You know how somebody gets mad at you and then you'd return the favor and get mad?
Yeah.
I was mad. I was like, just let me be me. That's what I wanted to say. I was like, just let me be mad. Yeah. And And then this morning she's like, I'm sorry for getting mad at you. And I was like, no, I'm sorry for being a dickhead. So it worked out well. But she gave me a golf analogy, which was great. She goes, I'm sorry, but when you're playing in the cart, and this is normally like a me and her situation with somebody that's just being completely pissed off at every golf shot they hit and ruining your time. That's what you're doing for me. And I immediately kind of was disarmed and was like, yeah, you're fucking exactly right. So
Yeah.
she golf analogied me into submission, and I
Ironically,
couldn't control myself. Couldn't.
no, I was in the same boat. I think I was doing the exact same thing for Missy because I don't question either of our significant others' passions for the game. I just think it's they look at it from a little bit more of a logical standpoint, and I just fly off the handle and get illogical very quickly. And I think that everybody flops all the time and we never flop, and they get all the calls and we get no calls. But the ironic part of that story is you are like my childhood growing up playing golf with you. You were that guy that was angry at every golf shot. Like I would genuinely, and this is not to be an asshole, I rooted for you a lot of the time, even when I was playing against you, because I feel like I could handle losing a little bit better than you could. And maybe that's an indictment on my own character, because I was like, if I lose, it's not the end of the world. But I feel like if Spencer loses, he's gonna fucking ruin my day and ruin his own. He's gonna ruin his day, which is gonna ruin my day. So I definitely understand. I mean, I've been that guy too, but I'm the one who like gets angry quickly, and then I'll just snap react, like call myself something heinous, like a hillbilly or just some other vulgar term, and then 5 seconds later, I hop in the cart and I'm just like, it's over. I just move on to the next. But I was actually playing golf on Monday, and my buddy Curtis, who's also my barber, he owns Fairway Barbers, which is the coolest fucking barber shop you could possibly own. The logo's dope too, as well. Too and as well in the same sentence. Good one. But we were talking about he actually read the book Zen Golf. And I did you ever end up reading that book, Spencer? Because I read it when I was like 18 or 19.
I think I made it like halfway through. I'm not a big reader.
You should give that one another shot, because it truly like the mental game of golf, the more you dive into it, the crazier the like what you're experiencing on the golf course, if you can recognize it. It truly can alter your game 100% shot to shot. Like on Monday, I could not putt. I actually think an official announcement, I think I'm switching back from the jailbird back to my old putter. I don't know what it is, but I can't. The weight is too much. It's too big. I like short, small putters. I guess it's just familiarity to me.
Short and small is as familiar as it can get.
Yeah, it just feels more comfortable. So I think I am switching back, because I was struggling to make 4-footers, 5-footers, and I was hitting the ball. The front nine was kind of a clusterfuck. I bogeyed both par fives. I doubled number one. Like, it was not a front nine to write home about. But then the back nine, I actually hit the ball really well. And I think I made one like 15-footer, and then I missed probably 5 putts inside of 10 feet. So that was a just on the back nine. So the back nine, I was just like losing it. But once you get into that mindset that you can't make a 4-footer, you might as well just fucking aim in the opposite direction and hit it. Like that is pretty much how I felt at that point. I was like, I'm not making this. And we were playing with these two dudes who were pretty slow, and they were, it was like, I'm not kidding you. The group in front of us finished 40 minutes ahead of us. Like, it was one of those where it was a Monday morning. There wasn't that many people on the course, and these dudes just wanted to take their sweet fucking time. They probably, neither of them broke 100. And that's not a knock. Like, that's fine. But then they're legitimately lining up 3-footers, doing the practice strokes. Like, so Curtis and I were just not in a rhythm whatsoever, just having to sit through these dudes. And that is also another indictment on my golf game, is I am very much like a group person, where the group's performance will affect my own game rather than just worrying about myself. And me, I'm like a chatterbox. And I actually didn't really talk to these dudes very much. but they were just super fucking slow. So it really like threw us out of a rhythm. But I kind of forgot the direction I was going with the story at this point, other than I am switching putters. I'm going back to old trusty.
So what is it going to take for me to get that jailbird in my hands? That's the real question here.
That is, I mean, if it's long enough for you, I cut it down to I think 35. So
I love that. That's ideal.
okay.
Let's get that shipped. I'll DM you my address. Let's get that shipped out here.
DM the Addy. Well, I'll be back in Colorado in June. Can you wait till then?
Maybe I've got
I'm not paying $40 to ship a fucking putter. That's stupid.
I got a tournament I'm playing in, a little Memby guest one dayer next Thursday at the Inverness. It's Chicago points. So I am not exactly sure what that is, to be honest. We probably should know that, cover up the PGA thing while I say that. I'm not sure what Chicago points is. But yeah, it's a 1 day lunch and then an afternoon shotgun. And
who are you playing with?
I'm playing with RK. So
oh, nice.
Me and RK are going to go out there and swing it. And it's one member, one guest. And it's
that's generally
Chicago
what a member
points.
guest is. So
yeah, well, thank you. And I'm playing with the homie Brandon Woolard. Actually, he requested to play in our group. So him and his buddy. Oh fuck, what was his buddy's name? It rings a bell because I'm pretty sure they played together in the event. Let me look this up here.
In the not to be named.
His buddy Kyle Gibson.
Oh yeah, Gibson and Woolard. I remember that.
Yeah, so we're gonna play with them next Thursday. So if I can get it, I might go play a practice niner next Wednesday. So if you can ship that out today or tomorrow, I'll hit your Zelle. You hit me with the putter.
Yeah.
Good to go. I know you got a bunch of boxes laying around at Old Bridge. This is a pretty quick transaction. Head to a FedEx. I've been to the FedEx in New Jersey, printed stuff off there. So I know there's one there.
I drove you there. So I'm well aware of where it is as well.
Cool. So it sounds like I'll have that by the weekend. That's perfect. I love that.
Yeah, we'll have to work out a price because I did drop what is the fucking 350, 400 beans on that thing.
Yeah, so we'll work it out.
We'll take it out of the brother tax.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, so let's get into the PGA Championship, and we'll start off by this because this has been the question all week, and I want to get your honest opinion on it. And I've got some great quotes and tweets here that I can put up. But first one, just the base question of, do you think it's worth having a major tournament at a place that consistently hosts? Let's take Quail Hollow out of it. Let's just go step by step on this two-part question here. Do you think it's fun that a course hosts a major that is basically like, oh yeah, we're not going to host the Wells Fargo like we have the last 10 years. We're going to flip and host a major this year?
No, I think it's pretty lame. I really do. And especially because all these guys have such familiarity. I won't even get into the whole live versus PGA because the live guys don't have near as much familiarity as the PGA guys because the PGA Tour guys play it every year. But just the familiarity in general, like I just want to see something new and exciting. I want to see a course that you don't see every year. That is kind of the majors. You know what I mean? That's like taking just a regular day and like making it a holiday. Like the holidays are the holidays because they're special and they're different. And you're just like, let's make fucking August 4th a holiday. Like you can't just make something it's not. And like Quail Hollow.
I mean, they do that a lot nowadays. It doesn't hit the same as like the age-old tradition of a Christmas or a Thanksgiving, but they definitely holiday the fuck out of anything at this point.
I probably could get canceled for not knowing what holiday is on August 4th. But yeah, it just doesn't hit the same for me. And do you know who I really do feel bad for? Like this, maybe I'm so far down the rabbit hole at this point, but I feel bad for like the maintenance crew at Quail Hollow. First of all, because they're working their dicks off. I was actually watching Johnson Wagner interview the director of or the superintendent basically. And this guy's like, yeah, we're waking up at 3 or getting here at 3 a.m., leaving at 10 p.m. Which, first of all, when somebody tells you they work like a 19-hour day, I just don't believe them. Like, are you eating? You're sleeping 4 hours? Like, what are you doing that whole time? What could you possibly be doing that entire fucking time? Especially when you have a crew of, when the USGA and the PGA rolls in an extra crew of 100 to 150 people. What could you possibly be doing with all that time throughout the day. Like I operate on like a 10 to 12 hour day, like 8 to 10 is I'm fine with. I guess that's 14 hours. So we'll add a few in there, but not working. Absolutely fucking not. I'm a strict 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 3 or 4, depending on the day. Sometimes none at all. So but these guys, he's like, yeah, we've been grinding fucking every not a blade of grass is out of place. And I'm like, everybody fucking hates this tournament. Like, and these dudes, this is the most thankless. This is like the server. They're like the server at the restaurant that the boyfriend takes the girlfriend to, and the girlfriend fucking hates the restaurant. Like, you just have to suck it up and just do the work, even though you know the people are not enjoying themselves. And it is such a weird deal, the amount of shit that this golf course has already taken. Like Hunter Mahan yesterday compared the golf course to to a Kardashian. It's modern, beautiful, and well kept, but it lacks a soul or character. Like, how can
Chris Bowers, Jesus Christ, all caps.
Yeah, that Hunter Mahan doesn't strike me as the kind of dude to drop a quote like that, but I think he's getting a little bit more outspoken in his older days now that he's retired. I just genuinely do feel for the guys because the course, I mean, they've gotten a metric shit ton of rain these last few days. The course is going to be, they're going to be coming down to the wire to get this thing in good shape to drain, to not be super wet. And ultimately, it's similar to Valhalla. Like, and that's just my question is, how do you keep going back to these venues that, like, after Valhalla last year caught all the shit? Yeah, I get.
It's politics and it's money, dude, on this. Like, I was reading because I'm a PGA member, in case anybody hasn't heard out there, for at least another month. My dues are up next month and all my MSR credits. So we'll see where we're at after June. But as of right now, PGA member, so I get the PGA of America magazine for free. Of course, the last episode the last edition was a whole 107th PGA Championship preview. So I read through that, did some nice light reading on this event and this golf course. And there's a lot of quote unquote Augusta feel around here, or they take a lot of things from Augusta and try to recreate them with Valhalla. And now Valhalla, Jesus, you fucking got that in my head. Now you fucked me for the rest of this pod. Quail Hollow, for the record.
Quail Hollow, Valhalla, they kind of roll off the tongue the same.
And Quail Hollow, actually, so this used to be basically one of the country clubs nearby. I think Charlotte Country Club was too full and too packed. So a group of a former senator / congressman owned this land that Quail Hollow is now on. It was just a big dairy farm, actually. And he owned this land that it was on. So they decided to build their own golf course because Charlotte Country Club was getting too full and there wasn't enough tee times back in the early 50s, I want to say. And so they made this dairy farm where they also used to hunt quail, hence the name Quail Hollow. They used to hunt quail on this land and turned it into the golf course. And they've done a ton of redesigns on it, but basically tried to make it, a 7,576 yard par 71 is definitely long, and we'll get into the best fits for this course and the players for this course. But it's just seeing some of the quotes from the players, and I believe it was Justin Thomas yesterday also talking about the fact that he's like, it's a good golf course, it just doesn't take a lot of strategy, and they can play those for the 48 weeks a year or however many PGA Tour events they have. Like, there doesn't need to be on a week of a major where everybody's eyes are on it. There's the entire golf world, whether you're a live fan, PGA Tour fan, a fan of just the game of golf in general. The major weeks are so important for us even. It's way more fun for us to the fucking Texas Open a couple weeks ago. I wasn't waking up at 5 a.m. on a Thursday morning and putting ESPN Plus on to watch it. Tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., the start of a major till the end, it's like you're trying to dial in on every single shot, every single guy moving up and down the leaderboard. And to have it at a place where they're like, yeah, it's just the Wells Fargo's been here for the last 10 years. As a spectator, it may help because the logistics, got that word on the first try of this pod, the logistics are a lot easier. And, as we talked about last pod, it's not easy to host a tournament. Golf course can be perfect and can be hard enough for the players, but you also have to think about the hundreds of thousands of fans, the tents, the sponsors, the concessions, all of that stuff that goes into it. So I see it from that aspect, but to me, it's like they also just announced that Southern Hills was getting the 2032 PGA Championship. It's like, Southern Hills is fine, but it's like let's you're already the redheaded stepchild major. Go get some fucking golf courses, man. Go get some really like out of the box golf courses where people are like, oh, that makes this different.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that there's 20 of me's that are just better playing in this event. Like, come on.
You did have quite the long soliloquy there. I want to bring it back just a little bit to an aviatory question. I think aviation.
Is this birds or planes?
Birds. Is a quail a flightless bird? Because I don't think I've ever seen a quail fly before. And I could be wrong. I just feel like I always see them running.
My gut reaction is that's the dumbest fucking thing ever, because I think when you quail hunt, you shoot them out of the air.
Maybe it's different kind of hunting because they're on the ground. Like, imagine how hard that is if they're running from somewhat of a distance and they're on the ground and you're shooting them. The angle's got to be tougher. They are quick little fellas and lady fellas as well. They do move pretty good, but I'm just okay. They don't fly a lot. I swear to God.
According to the AI overview, yes, quails can fly, although they are primarily ground-dwelling birds. They are known for their ability to take off quickly and fly vertically when startled, often referred to as flush response. This sudden burst of flight is used to escape predators. So I think quail hunting, then, there may be some sort of any quail hunters in the chat, help us out here, but maybe they just like scare them off the ground, and as they do this flash burst up in the air, it's like, bah, 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 bah. That's when you clean them out.
It was like quail hunting. It was like those water things where you step on it and they shoot up in the air. You just like stomp next to a quail and it just fucking shoots up vertically, and then you just pluck that thing right out of the sky. Sorry, we can get back to your golf subject there. I just had to throw in that quick question about quails because I swear to God, I think I saw a quail the other day on the ground running. Just running. And how ass backwards is it that there's birds that cannot fly? Like, what in the literal fuck is the point? Like, imagine being a turkey. That's got to be the worst fucking thing ever. You're like, I have these big ass wings and I have nothing to do with them.
Do they actually have big wings though?
Turkeys? Yeah, they got wings.
I mean,
they're just always wings. Like,
I thought
they're always just like huddled into the side. Yeah. Like an ostrich. Like, what the fuck? That is the most like human bird, but it has these massive wings, does nothing with them. It's basically just like arms. I don't know. That's just things I think about. But what were you talking about? Yes, the golf courses. That's where we're at. I would definitely like to see some different golf courses. I do think that when they play at PGA Frisco is going to be a pretty good one. That new it's the PGA's brainchild and their new headquarters down in outside of Dallas. But that will kind of give a little bit of like a different look, because I'm a big I like to put golf courses in boxes. I like a good identity of a golf course. And I feel like Quail Hollow has no identity whatsoever. Like, if you're going to be a Texas course, be a Texas course with all the fucking cactus and the shrubbery and the dry land, the brown grass, all that shitty stuff. I still like it better if it actually has an identity, and that's what it's supposed to be. Like, Quail Hollow is just a fucking 400-acre patch of green grass with some water on it and some holes in the ground. It just really does nothing for me. Like, could you imagine bragging to your boys about like, oh yeah, I played Quail Hollow? Like, is there any major championship venue that you brag less about playing than Quail Hollow?
Man, that's a tough question. I wonder. I don't know. It doesn't hit for me, like
Southern
I
Hills,
played
you're like, I took a fucking trip to Oklahoma, went out,
I've
hung out in Tulsa, the premier vacation destination in America.
I've played
Uh,
Whistling Straits, and I just can't stop talking about it. As you've played
that
St.
is
Andrews, and you also can't. So it's
okay. Two
very.
iconic venues, two very iconic venues. I mean, Whistling Straits can't hold a candle to St. Andrews. Let's be real there. I've also played Muirfield, which is a major venue, also fantastic. Way better than Whistling Straits, but for modern American golf, Whistling Straits is about as good as you can get. Uh, Although I have heard that this is a little off topic, but Bandon Dunes. Everybody I've talked to about Bandon Dunes says it's the best fucking place in America and the best golf they've ever played. I'm like, but I just cannot justify the whole pomp and circumstance of Bandon Dunes. It's just golf course on an ocean to me. I don't get it. I don't. And why if it's that good, then fucking have a PGA Championship. If Quail Hollow can host a PGA, why can't Bandon Dunes host a PGA? I know it's a logistical nightmare. So are a lot of places, but that doesn't mean they can't host a championship. Like, fucking have something there, legitimize it a little bit. Here's another question: do you think having a big event legitimizes a course? Like, would you look differently at a course if they had a PGA Tour event there, or do you not care?
No, I think it personally does. And maybe that's just where we grew up, where we in Colorado don't get a lot of events like the Solheim Cup, the US Senior Open coming to Colorado Golf Club has made me think a lot more about that track in general than, I mean, we played it a few times just before. We've been to the par 3 course and played there, been to the clubhouse, saw it kind of being built. Literally was 20 minutes away from where we grew up. So I think to me, it legitimizes it in the fact of they, even Castle Pines Golf Club now. I mean, we played it 4 days, 2 months before the actual BMW, but hosting an event with those players to me legitimizes it a lot more than just saying, oh, this is a great track, because Bandon Dunes, I think, would do that for you personally. Like if Bandon Dunes was to host a PGA Tour event or even a major, if their main course was hosting a major, I think you, who has this Bandon Dunes blind eye for the golf course, maybe just because of the price, or you've never been there, so you can't give it a total fair shake. Maybe it legitimizes it in your mind a little bit more, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And maybe the difference with us is this generation of golfer. I think what's missed on us, because all my buddies that golf for the most part are big golf trip guys. And I've been on one golf trip, and that was to St. Andrews and to Scotland, but I'm not a yearly golf trip guy to a different destination. And it's just me and my buddies. I mean, it honestly sounds like fun. Like I have FOMO talking about it, but I'm the more casual hop out for an afternoon 18 at a public golf course. I'm not a let's spend $4,000 and play. Like Curtis, the dude I played with on Monday. He's playing. Let's see, this week on Thursday he's playing 18 holes down near Atlantic City. On Friday he's playing 36 in Atlantic City. On Saturday he's playing 36, and then he's playing 18 more on Sunday on the drive back. Like how many holes? That's 108 holes of golf in 4 days. That sounds like my own personal hell. Like I cannot, but I have friends that are just like, if they could, they would do that. They would play that many holes in a day. And maybe that's where our differences lies. I'm like, 18 is plenty for me. Like the other day on Monday when we were finishing up, we were on 18, and I'm like, I felt like we were on number 1 like 3 days ago. Just 18 holes of golf feels like it takes fucking forever anyway. So I'm not the guy. I don't know. Maybe if I got more into golf trips and played some more, the whole destination golf thing is kind of lost on me. Maybe that makes me sound like a boomer.
Well, first of all, you forgot our golf trip to Wisconsin, so shout out to you for that, asshole.
That was only like 3 rounds of golf. I consider a golf trip like where you go stay at, like, say, Stream Song you play there 5 days in a row. You're staying on the, like, you never leave the resort type of shit, like resort destination type shit. Like, because obviously Wisconsin was a golf trip, but I also drove halfway across the fucking state like every day, which was giant pain in my assholes. So it definitely didn't feel like it was just a nothing but golf and relax and drink with your boys type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I'm playing 36 this weekend and 36 Saturday and 18 Sunday at Wolf Creek,
like,
Conestoga, and I forgot the other place. I've tried to look this up 3 different times. Now I got to get it. I got to come correct. But
did you get a PGA rate at Wolf Creek?
I did. I got a PGA rate at all 3 of them, to be honest.
That's great. What are they charging you, Wolf?
Well, I honestly, I pay Sand Hollow, Wolf Creek, Conestoga are the 3 places we're playing. I paid $300, I think, total for the 3 rounds of golf. Because Corey, whose bachelor party it is, who's also a PGA member, I think everybody that's not PGA in the group paid like $490 or $500 for the 3 rounds of golf. So in reality, for those 3 tracks, an absolute steal for Vegas, or Mesquite, I should say, in May. I'll be in Vegas Friday morning on the Strip a little bit, but looking forward to that, but also not looking forward to 36 holes, because I'm the same way. Once I play 18, I am not in the mindset for another 18 holes. That is not the first thing my mind goes to. It's like, can I get home? Can I shower? And can I sit down on my couch? That's where my mind goes after an 18er, and 36 is going to be a lot.
100%. Well, let's get back to the PGA Championship, because this is a PGA Championship preview. Should we do a little weather forecast?
Let's do it. This is Jerry Bertrand sending it over to Migsy O'Houlihan for the weather report in Charlotte, North Carolina for the 107th PGA Championship. Take it away, Migsy O'Houls.
Hey, y'all. We're out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm trying to sound like Marty Smith from ESPN. Hey, y'all. We're out in Charlotte at Quail Hollow with the Flightless Birds for the PGA Championship this week. So Thursday we've got now I'm dropping into Australian. God damn it. I don't know if I can get this other one back now. I was actually practicing this while I was doing laundry. On Thursday, we've got 85 degrees. God damn it. Now I'm going British. I legitimately can't keep my accent straight. Thursday, 85 degrees. Friday, 89, a little spicy, a little cloudy.
Why don't you read off the fucking screen?
Oh, I'm looking at my cell phone. Okay. Oh, we've even got the wind here. All right. So the Thursday is contradictory of the iPhone weather, because it says Thursday is the best chance for rain, and we only have it at 9%. Hey guys, I'm Marty Smith. Okay, I'm going to finish it like this. Friday, we've got 88 and 10-mile-an-hour winds. Saturday, 82, 14 miles an hour, slight chance of rain. And Sunday, when we hoist that Wanamaker trophy on 18 at Quail Hollow, it is going to be 87, partly cloudy, and it's going to steam the wrinkles right out of your balls. It's going to be that hot. Back to you in the studio. That is, dude, I don't know what it is with accents. The only one I can really stay in is Borat. Like Borat, I feel like I could live in a Borat accent, but I just cannot stay. I go from Southern to English to Australian. There's just no pinpointing it for me. I really was picturing Marty Smith, the one that he does like NASCAR and somehow also golf. I was trying to envision his voice and just replicate that, but to know
Marty Smith is the legendary TGL broadcaster.
Oh,
he's always on the TGL calls, not the calls, but he's like in the studio and kind of calling it back and forth.
No, that's not Marty Smith in the studio. That's
or Scott Van Pelt's in the studio, but Marty Smith is out.
Okay,
I promise you, Marty Smith does TGL. I don't know a lot of things, but I will promise you that. So decent weather overall. I mean, the rain this whole week there has been insane, and the video went viral of Hideki Matsuyama practicing his putting. Like, a few people said it, but what are you really getting out of practicing your putting when it looks like the finish of Caddyshack out there, and the hole's probably completely full of water. He's got somebody holding an umbrella over his head. I think you could see that the line of the putt was somewhat dried off, so I don't know if they were toweling the line of the putt. But Hideki was getting nothing out of being out there in that.
No, I mean, maybe the one thing he was getting is like, if it's raining down the stretch on Sunday, then he feels like he's practiced in that, so he has a bit of an advantage in the way to putt on completely waterlogged greens. But I don't really think that they're going to allow them out on the course in those kind of conditions. So I really have no idea. Maybe he's just trying to groove a feel. It didn't matter where he was, but he definitely probably could have done it in his hotel room. So no, I'm not really positive what he got out of that. Maybe just the fact that he is the hardest worker and he wants everybody to know it. He's just like, I'm putting my work ethic nuts on the table for all of you to see, to display firsthand PGA Championship week. And I really, sadly, I don't feel like he's got a shot. I really don't think he's winning this week. That is the beauty of it, though, is I think Hideki can win. I think he thinks he can win every week. I don't think you could ask the guy, I think you could ask him, and I don't think he would say there's a single week that he plays where he doesn't think he's going to go out and win that tournament. So he is just that type of grinder, type of dude. If I say type one more time, I'm going to type myself out this fucking bedroom window.
Well, let's get into some of the pairings and some of our favorites. First of all, a diabolical tweet from the PGA Championship here. We've got a pair of major champions join a fan favorite in the group of Shane Lowry, Brooks Koepka, and Ricky Fowler. Electric group, but they did Ricky Fowler pretty dirty with the wording of this tweet.
Yeah, they just cannot get anything right. I don't know who. It's just the PGA, man. The organization you represent really just is leaving something to be desired. I think it falls on you as a PGA member. I think that you need to do better. Maybe you can manage their social media. That would go as terribly for you as it would for them. But then what would you call Ricky?
Players champion, maybe.
I'd say winner of the Rocket Mortgage.
Two major champions and the Rocket Mortgage Classic 2023, I believe, champion.
Two major champions and a former motocross racer.
That wouldn't have been as dirty, right?
Do you know what actually would have been the best compliment, which he's one of those guys, of course, that had to get their rings tattooed on him. Olympian, Ricky Fowler.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
I think he was in the Olympics. So that would have been a better compliment than a fan favorite. Although I will say that even out at the Truist, Ricky had quite the group following him. He was in contention on Friday, and then as he likes to do, just pissed right down his leg, just a little dribble right down into his sock, and had a relatively strong finish. But the fans, the grouping, had such a massive following. So it is cool to see the generation younger than us also be huge Ricky fans. We weren't the only ones with the orange hats looking like fucking idiots out there.
No, he's got to be the most universally liked golfer on the planet. I don't think there's anybody out there that pays a shred of attention to golf and knows Ricky Fowler's name that would say, I don't like Ricky Fowler. And even Scotty Scheffler, we hated on him for a while. He's kind of done a turn for us, a 180, if you will, in general, only because he got arrested. But the general population would all say that they are big Ricky Fowler fans. And if you're not a big Ricky Fowler fan, or maybe you think he's annoying, maybe some boomers, I guess. Maybe some boomers when he came out with the Bieber looking hair and the orange get up. But even then I feel like when we go to events, I still see 60-year-old guys wearing orange Puma stuff in honor of Rickster.
Yeah, well, the weird thing is, what did Ricky ever do to make everyone like him? I don't feel like he says that much. He's not super animated on the golf course. Has has an outfit ever done more for a golfer than the orange jumpsuit has done for Ricky Fowler?
No.
Because I really don't. He does nothing that he's not really that exciting. If I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just maybe I'm just the zag guy when everybody else is zigging. But Ricky's never done anything for me where I'm like, fuck yeah, Ricky. Like, that's good for you, dude. Like, always like, oh, I left Butch Harmon. Oh, I went back to Butch Harmon. Oh, I changed my whole swing. Oh, I don't know. He was always great inside of 10 feet. I can tell him, I can say that. He's always been a really good short putter. But other than that, there's really nothing for Ricky where I'm like, fuck yeah, Rick. Like, that's my boy.
Yeah, I feel that. Let's get to some of the premier pairings of the week. What are your thoughts on them putting Rory, Scotty, and Xander number 1, 2, 3 in the official world golf rankings all together for the first 2 days? I think it's kind of electric. It's like those three, if you had to take that group or the field, you might be minus odds. You might be minus 200 odds, honestly, because Rory's kind of got the best form, just won the Masters. Scotty's just always the favorite, and he is the odds-on betting favorite. And Xander, although he's a little bit more down the leaderboard in terms of odds to win the tournament, is the reigning PGA champion and won 2 majors just 1 year ago. So I think if you had to take that group or the field, I think I'd probably take that group.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet. It is kind of disrespectful to Bryson, though, don't you think? Like, Xander hasn't done anything since last year, and I guess Bryson hasn't either. But it feels like Bryson is the number 2 or 3. Like, Xander, just because of the injury more than anything, feels a little bit more off the radar. So I just feel like they could have spiced that up a little bit, because really, from a group standpoint, from an entertainment standpoint, Xander's really low key, like almost just as boring as Scotty, if not more boring. Other than like when Xander busts out a cigar, I like that Xander. He's definitely like a big stogie guy, and when he gets into the stogies, that's what I'm like,
post win Xander's electric.
Yeah, but just an emotionless guy on the golf course, which good for him. It just doesn't make for entertainment. Rory's going to be prancing around with his shoulders popping like he always does when he's got that confident walk. And then Scotty's just going to be shucks in it all the way around there, fucking moving his feet all crazy. I've actually seen people that have tried to mirror Scotty's like footwork. I'm like, holy shit, what are you doing, man? But that is
I'm
probably
not
the
gonna
most
lie
exciting.
to you. I've done that on the range a time or two just to test it out. Not gonna lie, only with driver.
A no thank you bite.
I've tried a no thank you bite of the Scotty Shuffle, and it wasn't great for me. Although I did hit a few really good and considered actually changing my swing to that. Speaking of Bryson, he's got kind of an interesting group. He is playing with Victor Hovland and Gary Woodland. So Gary Woodland just coming out of the woodwork, if you will, and getting a premier level pairing. Another great one is Jordan Spieth, Patrick Reed, and Ludwig Aubert. Kind of three solid players, obviously a premier group, but maybe the most variety of types of players between Ludwig, and not only players, but personalities as well. I think that's an interesting pairing for those three to go off. And then Justin Thomas, Dustin Johnson, and Colin Morikawa. I mean, what more can be said about that group? It's a bunch of just major winners, just a bunch of guys going out there trying to win. Well, Dustin can only win majors now on the PGA Tours, in the PGA Tours' eyes. Justin Thomas is hot coming into this, playing about as well as anybody. And then Colin Morikawa is going to be highly and heavily bet this week, as he is every single major, but is really just a major merchant. And we talked about it on the pod yesterday, and hasn't won in other than the Zozo and since 2022 and outside of a major. So that's an interesting pairing as well. We've got Tyrrell Hatton, Will Zalatoris, and Adam Scott. And then sending it off a number 1 tee, the first group off, just a couple old heads from overseas, Luke Donald, Patty Harrington, and Martin Keimer.
Ooh, that's a great group.
5 a.m. Mountain time.
Oh, because he won this event. I was like, how the fuck did Martin Keimer make his way into this field? But he is indeed a former champion. He famously cucked Dustin Johnson out of that Wanamaker Trophy at Whistling Straits. That was Dustin Johnson, right? That grounded his club in the waste bunker, and then Keimer won.
What year was that? Was that 2013, 2012?
Yeah, 2012, right in that ballpark. I think that is correct. So the cat is out of the bag. When we posted the round table, I already told everyone I was all over it. But Max Homa is one of my guys to watch this week, and he is playing with Lucas Glover and Waco Neiman. So that's a good pairing. I feel like that's got to give Max a little bit of bounce, that he still commands that kind of, Lucas Glover's won quite a bit these last few years, resurgent name, and then Waco Neiman's one of the, everybody thinks he's going to win a major type of guys. So I think that's a good pairing for him. Michael Block and Eric Van Rooyen and Mackenzie Hughes are playing together. I want Van Rooyen to stuff Blocky in a locker. I want Blocky to shoot like fucking 82 and Van Rooyen to shoot 67 day one and be like, this isn't fucking playtime out here, buddy. This is not this ain't no fucking hobby. Let's put it that way. Also,
this isn't hee-haw with the fuck around gang. That's what I called the Nuggets first quarter. Nuggets in Oklahoma City first quarter on Sunday when it was like 17-8. That was complete and utter 12 minutes of hee-haw with the fuck around gang.
Yeah. That is still an all-time quote. There's nothing
Makes me
better.
laugh just thinking about it.
Oh, dude, yes. You're playing hee-haw with the fuck around gang. Like, talk about an all-time. Just getting called the fuck around gang might be top 10. That's a gang I want to be a part of.
That's going to be me if I'm golfing with Austin and Sam at any point this weekend.
Oh my God, dude.
They are the fuck around gang tea
They
time.
are the literal kings of the fuck around gang. Last summer at Logan's bachelor party, I wanted to kill both of them on the golf course. They are the two worst. Like Austin, our friend Austin might be the nicest, most like normal, chill dude ever. And then you get him like drunk and he's just the worst person to be around. Like just in your fucking ear, trying to like chirp you. And then Sam and those two are just bouncing off each other, throwing shit at me. I was so hungover. I was like, dude, both of you guys need to get out of my face.
Dude, can I give you a quick hot take about my own personal game? When I'm far and away the best player in a group on paper, that's when I play my best. When I play with like 3 or 4 players that are probably better than me or my same level, and I like start losing to one of them, my mental road just goes straight down the shitter. But when I'm playing with players that are not as good as me and I'm just like hitting it in the middle and then going and looking for their balls, and then I just go up there and hit it on the green. I don't know if it's necessarily the laser focus or the lack of focus, I guess I could say, that helped me. Where I'm like trying to help them find their ball or give them a line or tell them what the yardage is, where I just swing more free and make better swings at the ball. I don't know if there's something to that, but that is for me, I think, very different than 99% of the population. Cause I always hear from other people, they're like, when I play golf with somebody better than me, it makes me play better. And I'm almost the opposite. Not that I can't play well with good players, but when I'm playing and I'm clearly the best player in a group and I'm the only one that's hitting it in a findable area or hitting greens in regulation during the day, it gasses me up a little bit more that I'm just beating the absolute tits off these guys that do not play golf or never play golf seriously in their life. I don't know. It's just a weird mind fuck for me.
No, I get that. I'm the exact opposite because I genuinely have a hard time caddying for somebody. And tell me if it's different with your significant other than it is with like your buddies. I don't know. I am such a group purveyor and like a shepherd of our group that I want everybody to play well and have fun, that like my game always takes a back seat. If I'm playing with guys that aren't as good, it's really hard for me to be like, fucking go suck over there, dude. I'm worried about my own game. Like, you go look for that ball, and I am not going to go look for that ball with you. I don't know. It's just very hard. And Missy actually hit me with some like she goes, when we play together, you never play that well. I'm like, she said that shit to me, and I was like, I clutched my pearls. I'm like, that's because I'm fucking picking every club for you and telling you where to hit this and where to aim and checking your swing. And I am just a glorified caddy. I shouldn't even bring my fucking clubs out. So I want to be like, yeah. And I mean, I did tell her, I'm like, it's hard to focus when you're trying to help other people play golf. Like when you're shepherding along this group of people that are just wandering out in the field, and then you're also trying to put your own golf ball in the hole. That's when I run into a challenge. If people suck and like it doesn't impede my game, as long as they're keeping up pace, like these dudes the other day were just playing so fucking slow that I was and it's also different too because we were playing at the Rose where I teach. So it's definitely, it falls on you personally to keep up with pace of play. Like if an employee is the one out there slowing up the fucking group, they need to be like fired.
Yeah.
And we've dealt with that at previous golf courses where you're like, you have the audacity to know how much dealing with pace of play fucking sucks, and you're the one out here playing slow. So I kind of took it upon myself personally to speed everyone up. I was fucking hitting. I was hitting like 8-footers out of turn and just not lining them up and be like, I'll finish, and just missing every single one of them. But no, I don't think that's a hot take for your game. That makes a lot of sense. Like you thrive in a scramble where you are the A guy. You're the wild card a little bit. Like if somebody's leaning on you to make a 12-footer, they're fucking hosed. But if you're the first one on the tee box with 3 mediocre golfers, you're going to step up and hit driver 320 right down the middle. Like you are the king of that. So credit to you, because I'm really kind of the opposite. I usually, when I play in scrambles with people, I'm like, you're going to be kind of disappointed. I also say that before sex as well. I'm like, it's not going to be, it's kind of disappointing, but I'm going to have fun. One of us will have a good time. And yeah, you don't expect much, and then you'll be happier for that. So let's get back to the pairings.
Well, we're pretty much all done with the pairings. Let's hop into these big bet energy picks.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I felt like I needed to tell you something. Michael Block is now sponsored by Raising Cane's. Does that change the way you feel about Raising Cane's at all?
A little bit, but
does that make you not want to go get those chicken tenders and that fucking Bob toast?
The chicken tenders, dude, that toast may be the most elite toast and the most elite food. It's like up there with Twizzlers nibs for me. When I start eating it, I cannot stop myself. I'm like, I'm only going to have half this piece. And then I go to the tenders and the fries, and I'm just eyeing that piece of toast the whole time. And then I end up finishing it every single time. That's elite.
That's fair. Why is toast such a hack? Like you just fucking
Good
warm
toast
up bread.
Is a hack.
Oh, absolutely. But even like, yeah, just toast in general, like bread itself, you're ever going to just eat a piece of bread? That feels weird. But then you throw it in a toaster and you throw a little butter on there. That is an elite side. No matter, like Raising Cane's really, why didn't somebody think of this before? It's basically catered directly towards white women. You just eat fucking chicken tenders and buttered toast and a few other sides and throw a Diet Coke in there and you're off to the races. Like it is.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's all they do.
We are a partner of them at my job. And it's like, it's an elite thing where you can just make chicken fingers. And then your only other menu option is chicken fingers on bread. And that's it. We do one thing. And if you do one thing and do it well, I mean, every drive-through always is just stacked. So, I think more places, like I love Arby's. I'll never shit talk Arby's, but you go to Arby's and you got 20 different, I could order a fucking pizza, mozzarella, meatball slider. And then I can also order the best sandwich ever created, which is just the original quarter-pound roast beef. There's too many options.
Is it the old tale? If you have 2 menu options, you have 0?
I think that's how it is.
Similar to quarterbacks, you need one, and it needs to be elite.
Yep, I think that's exactly it. Well, speaking of elite, let's dive into these picks, which are surely to be elite for this week's PGA Championship. Big bet energy, all these odds via the DraftKings Sportsbook. I'll start with mine. I think X-Man gets it done this week. There's not a lot of form to go off of here, of
I was going to
course.
say, what is telling you he's getting it done this week?
Well, other than Rory, if you sans Rory from the conversations, Xander Schauffele is the best player at Quail Hollow over the last decade plus, including the Wells Fargo Championships. I think Rory's 40 under par, I want to say, in all his rounds. Xander's like in the 20 range, and then you have a bunch of hacks in the 10 to 12 range. So he's defending champion. He's good at Quail Hollow. And I think last year until he won the PGA Championship, everybody was like, oh, he can't win majors. And now in just 1 year's time, 2 majors won in just 2024. I have the opposite feeling of Xander, where I believe that in a major, he has his best game and shows up and plays the best. So I don't think Augusta is necessarily a great fit for him in general. That's why he hasn't really contended there. But at a place like this that he's very comfortable and familiar with, he's plus 2,200, and I'm going to take a shot at that. Our boy, the fan favorite here, Ricky Fowler, he's plus 2,000 to top 5. I feel like he's got a really good shot this week. Also played decent at Quail Hollow over his career. Form always isn't there, but I feel like Ricky Fowler, top 5 is a great spot for him because I don't believe he can win this tournament, and maybe he will win it, and we'll clip this later. I also think he could shoot 80 and not play Saturday or Sunday. That's a very real possibility for him. But I do think without winning it, I think top 5 is a decent bet at plus 2,000, 20 to 1 odds. And then had to sneak a live guy in here because you didn't do it, which is shocking for you. I mean, Bryson should be on almost every major card somewhere or another, but we're going with our guts here and our gobs of research and diving into the numbers of strokes gained off the tee and strokes gained total. But Patrick Reed is plus 500 to top 10. Great performance at the Masters, and has also played well at Quail Hollow. So kind of my overarching theme here was who's played well at Quail Hollow over the past decade, because there's a lot of course history. And overall, I think I got something here with these picks. Unseasoned ass chicken from Wade does not a fan of Canes.
Fair enough. It is truly white meals for white women, just unseasoned ass chicken tenders. Okay, so I just want to preface it with this. Like you said, Bryson should be on your betting card. But these are picks that like we see as good value, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like it's worth the juice is worth the squeeze, and throwing a little action on these guys, because I'm not laying plus 400 to bet Scotty Scheffler. Does he have a great chance to win? Absolutely. Rory McIlroy plus 475. Great chance to win? Yes, but I'm not fucking taking that number. That's not what gambling on golf is. It's gambling with your heart, not your head. Let's just be clear. So I like Justin Thomas. I mean, he is indeed a PGA Championship merchant. He won for the first time in a while just recently. So I think he thinks that he's in top form. And realistically, when he's on his game, he's as good as anybody out there. Like, as long as he gets that putter going, I do like his chances. Max Homa, another guy that has played pretty well as of recently, played well at the Masters, has had some better finishes. And I really think that his odds, I mean, I think he's plus 15,000 to win. And if you're telling me that Max Homa can't win the most irrelevant major when all he's done is win irrelevant PGA Tour events, that's a joke. But you know what I mean? It would be like, oh, Max Homa won the PGA. You could totally believe that if I were to tell you that. You know what I mean? But plus 1,000 to top 10, I have bet him heavily. Hell yeah. Glad you love the picks, Wade. So Max Homa, I've hammered pretty heavily. And then Andrew Novak plus 850, another guy that's in very good form. Neither of those three guys are the longest hitters, but I really think with how soft it is, it's going to be kind of a great equalizer. And real quick, I just want to read off my entire betting card. I, for lack of a better term, I just prayed and sprayed at this. Like I put in some bets Monday morning, but then last night, full disclosure, I did I did emotionally hedge the Denver Nuggets and made about 250 beans live money lining the Thunder when we were up on multiple different occasions. So I automatically pulled 150 of that, and then I threw another $100 on the board.
I was seeing red too much to be smart about that and do that same thing, but I thought about it multiple times.
Yes. So my entire betting card, this is just what I took last night. I have Andrew Novak. This is just last night, and then I'll get to what I took Monday if we've got the time. I got Andrew Novak plus 850, 25 to win 237. Is it weird for me to unit drop here? Does it matter? Does anyone care?
I don't care.
Okay, perfect. I have Davis Thompson plus 800 to top 10, 25 to win 225. Max Homa. It did move to 1,000 yesterday for a period of time, and now it's back at plus 900. So our card was current at the time of you making it. Max Homa plus 900, 20 to win 200. Minwoo Lee plus 9,000 to win, 10 to win 910. Figured why not sprinkle there. Wyndham Clark to win, 10 to win 910. Pretty good odds. Scroll past the Thunder live bets. Tony Finau. This is now my Monday picks. Tony Finau plus 600, 20 to win 140. Andrew Novak, another 20 to win 190, top 10. Max Homa plus 1,000, 20 to win 220. Max Homa to win, 10 to win $1,510. Colin Morikawa, 10 to win 230 on a W. Russell Henley, 10 to win 660. Justin Thomas, 10 to win 230. And then another Max Homa, top 10, 22 to win 220. So I have literally sprayed the board. I think there's 6 guys in there. And really, Max and Andrew Novak are my 2 horses. I want this clipped. I want this cut up. I want all the action. Because if they play well, if Max Homa wins, you can find a new host for the podcast because I'm out. Like that, this is my Super Bowl basically. And I don't know why I'm just so infatuated with Max Homa, considering his current form, relatively speaking, on a broader scale. But I'm just really feeling vibes this week for him. I think he's low key ramping up for a major, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, if Max Homa comes out of the woodwork and wins this week, I will give you all the flowers. You did send me a few tweets. We'll get to here real quick regarding Sepp Straka. He'll have his brother on his bag this week. His caddy is still sidelined, so his brother's in for a fat payday, most likely. I mean, maybe it's not a win. It's hard to win back-to-back, especially going signature to a major. But another tweet, as Americans have won the last 9 PGA championships, the longest streak for any major, but international players have won 14 of 22 PGA Tour events this season. So kind of an interesting anecdote there. I do think if I had to take American or non-American, I think I would take Americans to win the 10th in a row this week. If it was just based on location of where they live or where they're from, I would take the Americans over the non-Americans this week. And Sepp Straka is a great pick for this week too. I think more of a top 10, top 5 guy, but also doesn't really, like you said, have the length and just seems to get it done. Length didn't matter. Everyone said it didn't matter at Philly Cricket Club, and he still went out there and won it. Poor Shane Lowry. He might be a popular pick this week, but has no chance at winning this major. Maybe we can clip that. It just feels like no dog in Shano, but great picks. Make sure you log in to the DraftKings Sportsbook or wherever you place your bets. We are not sponsored, and get those bets in this week for the PGA Championship. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Big Drive Energy. We'll be back with you at some point on Sunday. I will be probably doing it remote from the golf course. We're going to see how that goes. Maybe you'll get some mid shots of me, as well as some of my golf and major coverage. I'm going to figure that out. I may bring my kid's iPad with me. I've yet to figure out exactly the story on how I'm going to navigate this weekend, but we're going to get her done. It's a major championship. Shout out to all of those of you that tuned in. If you're watching on the YouTube, give us a thumbs up. If you're listening to this podcast audioly, make sure you rate and like our show. We would appreciate that. enjoy the PGA Championship. Enjoy another major. These are the best 4 weeks of the year in golf by far. And we will talk to you guys on Sunday afternoon. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Quail Hollow with the flightless birds. Peace.